Yeah, well, hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. This is the Comic Relief Crusader, and I guess this is, this is the first live broadcast. Thank you. Who do we got here? We got Jimbo Jones, and I guess we got Snaggle Fricklepuss. So, in the chat, hello, both of you. As you know, I am the Comic Relief Crusader, and if you've survived any of the videos that you watched right now, I can tell you right now, I am nervous as spit doing this because I've never done anything like this quite ever before. And, if you're joining me, I've shared some of who I am on a couple of shows like King Dolphin and Mixel Picks. And God, I think TKO, like a couple of years back, I did a podcast with them. It was kind of fun. But I'm here sharing the news and reviews the best that I can. Giving my point of view like everybody else out there. So probably going to give this a try for an hour, see how it goes, and give you my take on things. Shoot things and shoot the conversation and stuff like that. But I don't know. What can I say? Give my opinion. So to everyone out there, as you probably know, I am a graphic designer. Love comics, love sci-fi, love fantasy, but just basically kind of ticked off at what's going on in pop culture and everything. Hey, just wondering if anybody out there has seen this movie that is coming out. And I almost hence to to even talk about this, probably because it's Michael Bay, and it's just something about Michael Bay. I don't know what it is. This here, Ambulance by Michael Bay, a Michael Bay movie. Who's this starring here? We got Jake Gyllenhaal. He's the guy that played Mysterio there in the second Spider-Man movie. Actually, I didn't mind him as Mysterio. He was pretty good. And a couple of others. God, who is this? Yaha Abdul Mateen II and Isa Gonzalez. Oh my God, I'm butchering these names. Anyway, yeah, only Michael Bay could find a way to turn an ambulance into some sort of action movie. What can I say? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go on. Ambulance. Oh boy. If anybody hasn't seen the trailer for this, it's up on YouTube. Go look it up. But Ambulance, believe it or not, is this movie. It's a remake from a 2005 Danish film. Goes by the same name. Except obviously Michael Bay, being Michael Bay, puts his big spin on it. Obviously. So, it's going to have like guns, explosions. You haven't seen it yet? No, it's supposed to be out, Jimbo. Let me think here. I think it's coming out later on this year. Trying to think here. Anywho, it's a remake of a Danish film. And it follows some sort of Marine which would be that Yaha Abdul Mateen II. And basically, the premise of the whole thing is he's struggling to find a job and support his family, right? Like a lot of people nowadays are. And I guess something like his wife requires some sort of experimental surgery that their health care insurance won't pay for, right? So essentially, Will turns to his estranged yet wealthy adopted brother, which would be Jake Gyllenhaal, right? And Danny, which is Jake's character's name in the film. Apparently, he wants to participate in a bank heist and steal something like $32 million, right? Instantly, I have problems with this because if Danny is his wealthy adopted brother, why do you need to do a bank heist? I don't get that. Yeah, the trailer does look good. Oh, you have Doctor Strange tickets already. Nice. Yeah, the trailer does look good. It's just a typical, what can I say? A typical Michael Bay trailer, and probably going to be a really typical Michael Bay movie, right? But apparently the brother is like wealthy, and I don't care if he's adopted or whatever, right? But it's like, why do a bank heist, and steal like a few $1,000,000? I don't know. Anyway, but apparently, Will takes the job out of desperation because obviously he needs the money, and but when the bank heist goes sour, then the two, I guess, hijack an ambulance, and apparently there's a wounded cop in there, and the paramedic, who would be Elza Gonzalez, basically as hostages. So I don't know. I got I got mixed emotions, I guess, about this. But I don't know. I'm mixed on Michael Bay movies only because the first Transformer movie was okay. The other ones after that, the writing just got really crappy. Just really, really crappy. And it was more focused on people than robots, right? And however, in all honesty, Armageddon way back when, the drillers that basically went to space, blow up a asteroid or a comet or whatever it was, as over the top as it was, sure, for an action flick, I'll go with it, right? So I don't know, might be pretty good. You know what? Another thing that was in the news, well, apparently Brie Larson is joining the cast of Fast and Furious. Yeah, can I say Captain Marvel and Fast and Furious? I don't know. I thought Cars in Space was bad enough, but they found a way to top that by adding Brie Larson. Can I say? Yeah, Bay keeps reusing the same shot with with different CGI. It is so true. Here's the thing that I've noticed about Michael Bay movies is he'll do really nice shots, sun flares and in the shot and whatnot. He'll take very nice landscape shots, very nice panoramic type of shots. His action, they're good action sequences. So there is a lot to say about Michael Bay that's actually good. It's just that sometimes he gets these really bad writers, or he'll just inject what he likes into a movie, and it just turns out to be total and utter bullcrap. I don't know what it is. It's different. I have a love hate with Michael Bay, but yeah. Anyway, as for Brie Larson joining the 10th movie of the whole franchise of Fast and Furious, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've seen better acting from a plank of wood when it comes to Brie Larson. I didn't even like her that much in, what was it, in Kong, Skull Island. But yes, I would have to agree. You know what? Yeah, Emily Blunt is probably a better fit because she's done a few action movies. Totally agree with you on that. And I like her acting better. Brie Larson, not so much. You know, she might as well just stick to, I don't know, fancy schmancy photo shoots, advertising makeup or something like that, you know? But I mean, you already got people like Jason Momoa and Charlize Theron and Daniela Melchior? Anyway, that are already in the franchise. And I mean, God knows that Vin Diesel and The Rock didn't really get along, but I don't know. I don't know. There's so much you can probably just do with cars and cars in space and cars in the Arctic and cars here and there. It's yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Brie Larson anyway, but I'm just sharing what I feel, and that's all there is to it. And what's the other thing? Will Smith. I know we've all heard too much about Will Smith, but 10-year ban. You know what? First of all, I couldn't give two craps really about Will Smith. I liked him in some movie franchises. I'll give him that much. He's done a really good job here and there. And obviously, you know, growing up with him on TV as, you know, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's about it, you know. That movie that he was in that was on Netflix like a few years ago with, what was it, all the fantasy creatures. What was it called? Bright. You know what? I didn't even finish that movie. And I really honestly can't tell you any other kind of recent thing that he's been in lately. It's just he's had his time and that's it, you know. And now he gets a 2-year ban for slapping the faux shizzle out of Chris Rock. You know what? No, no, you just don't do that. You just don't walk up to somebody and give him a slap. I don't care if you're on live TV or whatever. You just don't do that kind of crap. You know, I can see, like I said before, like in one previous video, I can see how, yeah, insulting your wife live on TV, or not really insulting, but, you know, making a lewd remark about her condition. Um, yeah, I can get that. But then again, he laughed first until he got the old stink eye, if you know what I mean, from Jada. But yeah, Order 66 on Chris Rock. Slap him till he can't walk anymore. You know, and Will Smith just goes up and slaps the crap out of him, or at least tries to. So, you know, basically a total simp move on Will's case. And on top of that, even though I found the joke kind of, I don't know, tasteless, he still has freedom of speech to say it. Let me see. I think she's the blue lady from Avengers. I'm trying to think. The blue lady from Avengers. You know what? I honestly cannot recall what blue lady you're talking about. Blue lady in Avengers. You had Black Widow. I really honestly can't think. What other blue lady you're talking about? I'm sorry. Um, but yeah. Um, what else has been going on in the news? let's see. Apparently, news came out of Brandon Lee wanting The Crow to be black and white, like the graphic novel. Sorry. Yeah, but then again, The Crow was like early '90s, so I'm not really over concerned about that. Oh, breaking news that came out about Amber Heard. You guys remember Amber Heard? Aquaman, red hair, the one that apparently beat around. I was gonna say Johnny Quest, but no, it's not Johnny Quest. Johnny Depp. Yeah. Apparently, there was a new report that came out that appears to confer past rumors that Warner Brothers did not want to initially bring Amber Heard back to Aquaman for the sequel. And that when she eventually did what she did, apparently she didn't receive some sort of bump in pay that apparently she was supposed to get. So go figure. Some guy apparently had said that at Warner Brothers initially it declined to pick up Amber Heard's option for Aquaman 2, and apparently because of the whole kerfuffle with Depp, that kind of like put Warner Brothers off of wanting to have her back because they didn't apparently want any more trouble in endangering their whole license. I don't know. I don't care. She deserves what she gets. You make a bunch of lies and then you get caught in the lies. Well, what can I say? What else has been going on lately? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Elon Musk buys Twitter. Oh, my God. Over 9%. And apparently liberals' heads are exploding. But I'm pretty sure there was one tweet, if you didn't catch it, where he's asking if he should convert Twitter San Francisco headquarters to a homeless shelter since no one shows up anyway. And apparently the vast majority of people said yes. And I'm like, well, this is very interesting. So nobody shows up to work at Twitter? Or are they basically all at home? I don't know. But you know what? If anything gets the bums off the street from leaving needles all over, crapping all over the place and whatnot, yeah, give them a place to live. And hopefully they can get a shower, clean themselves up. My God, maybe help them become useful members of society instead of, infesting the streets. Probably end up with another break of cholera or something like that. God, I had a friend of mine that was actually in San Francisco, and he said, yeah, most of the place looks like a war zone. You wouldn't believe what it looked like, just crap everywhere. You actually have an app to tell you where crap is on the street so you can avoid it. And I'm like, God, you would expect that in a really rundown, God, I wouldn't even say fourth rate world country, a third world country, probably a fourth world if there's even such a thing. But yeah, turn it into a homeless shelter. So, and then Jeff Bezos even chimed in, or do a portion. Worked out great and it makes it easy for employees who want to volunteer. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea, he says. So, oh God, it would just be awesome to see finally Twitter just not being a hellhole of scum and villainy, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I don't know. What else? Any of you guys in the chat away. Give me something to talk about. Because I have as much time as humanly possible. Um, what else to talk about? Comics. Let's see. Then again, you got Disney. Well, can I say? Groomers. It's despicable. Everybody's canceling their Disney Plus. Everybody's ripping up their tickets. Everybody's getting refunds on wanting to not go to Disney. I mean, it's despicable. They're just full bore going right on ahead and doing what they're doing. Well, my suggestion would be to any like-minded people, if you got a few $1,000s to throw out there, and if you want to save pop culture, let's see. We got Paramount, we got Disney, we probably got a lot of other franchises that are probably tanking due to all the freaking stupid wokeness that are being injected into films and movies and books and stuff like that they all produce. Wait till the shares go down. Just watch them tank. And then you know what? If you got a few thousand to spend, buy a share. Buy two. Then then the majority of you people, can finally be heard. And if there's enough like-minded people, get the scum out. God, if I had a few $1,000,000, yeah, if the stocks were just tanking hard, say on Disney, yeah, I'd buy a bunch of them. I'd buy a whole crap load of them. No, I probably shouldn't say crap anyway, because I'd probably be flagged. But yeah, I'd buy a whole mess of it. And then on top of that, what I would do, I'm a shareholder. If I ended up having the majority after a while, I'd be firing you, and I'd be firing you, and I'd be firing you, and I'd be firing you. And I'd probably just would restore it to the way it's supposed to be. It's crap. The way everything is going on nowadays. Can't stand it. Anyway. But that's just what I would do. What would you guys do? Another thing going on. Yeah. April of next year is when my brother and myself, and there were a few other guys. There was a guy named Bill Terrell and Scott Walsh, and there was Andrew Murphy, and there was Chuck Ingram and Peter, can't remember his last name, another guy, Ron McRae. And 30 years ago, we started a fanzine back in St. John. We called it Drop Off Comics. And we were inspired by the guys that had left Marvel. And they started their own comic company, Image. And we were just so inspired by those guys that we wanted to do what they wanted to do. Well, I look back. Lately, I've been having this itch to, want to draw again for the last few months. And then I noticed when one of my daughters was looking back, that April of next year, it'll be 30 years since we put out one of our first comics, which was actually one of mine. It was titled The Forever Wars, and it was done in a manga style, and it was about a guy that had been living on a farm with his uncle and his mom, and a spaceship crashes on Earth, and it happens to be, this alien princess and her cousin, and they're fleeing this empire, which she happens to be a part of, and fleeing from daddy because he's the bad guy, or he was supposed to be the bad guy. And anyway, That was one of the comics that had been released in March, or sorry, April of '93. So, I thought with all the crowdfunding going on Indiegogo and stuff like that, why not bring it back just for fun? Might as well. You only live so long, and you only got so much time left on this earth. So why not? So I'm going through some of the older pages of another idea that I had for a comic, and I think I'm going to go with that. And I think I'm going to do some crowdfunding through it and see what happens. But anyway, I will try to keep you guys afloat on that kind of thing. I'll give you guys an update probably as I progress. The better and better I progress. Maybe this might be something that you guys might be interested in. Maybe not. Like I said, this is the first podcast. I don't know if I should even call it a podcast. First live broadcast. And I guess only 2 people, really. Maybe 3. Jimbo Jones, I don't know if you're still there, or Snaggle Fricklepuss. I don't know if you're still there. But I hope you guys are still listening. Oh, good. Oh, you are. Super. Yeah. I've done a lot to try to take care of my family, working a lot of jobs and taking care of them and trying to make their dreams happen. And I know I haven't exactly been the best at it. But aside from collecting and working, collecting is like one outlet. I have to just really enjoy myself or try to enjoy something. Not that I don't enjoy my family, let's put it that way. But, you collectors out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and if you know exactly what I mean. Yeah, I just want to get back into doing something fun. When I was with a bunch of guys that we all got together and talked all this goofy stuff, all this comic stuff. You don't get the chance to do that with a lot of people when you're an adult. But, we'll see what happens. See what there is to be done. You know, getting back to to Will Smith and Chris Rock, here's an interesting thought. Not that I'm condoning what Will Smith did, and I certainly don't condone what Chris Rock did. I suppose, in a sense, you could both say both assaulted each other. In one way, even though Chris Rock is a paid comedian and he was paid to do a job, in one way, you could kind of say he did sort of verbally assault Jada. It's one way to look at it. You don't need to make a crass joke like that. But then again, of course, Will Smith shouldn't have done what he did. But then again, that was like 2 weeks ago. And I don't feel like going over it again and again. What else? What else to talk about? Spring is here. Although here in Alberta, where I'm at, you wouldn't really know it, considering how a couple of days ago it was like plus 20, but I guess right now it's like -2. Thank God it isn't snowing. But anyway, half an hour into this, and like I said, this is only the first live thing that I'm doing. And hopefully, if I get on this more often and just keep on yapping away, hopefully a lot more of you guys will come along. 229 subscribers. Who knows what might happen? Anyway, it's kind of hard to schedule these things when you do a podcast, and I'm going to plug the other podcast, which is, for some odd reason, totally escapes me because I can't think of it right now. And then you went and made it awkward, which I get on the horn with two other guys, Shogi all the way in Texas and Ricky all the way in Florida, and we just talk about nerd stuff. And on top of that, when you're trying to work and finish up work, you listen to other podcasts. So it's hard to schedule when to go live online because Saturday night you have Clawburn Times, and then he does a show on Wednesday, and then he also does one on Monday. So that's like 3, with the occasional spinnerack. Plus, I believe he also does maybe a short one on Thursdays. So there's that. And then also early Saturday, there's King Dolphin, who actually hailed to King Dolphin for dropping in earlier before I started. Thank you very much for dropping by. I really appreciate being on the show. And on top of that, letting me on your show on Saturdays. So he's a extremely nice guy. Lots of people that come to his channel and his show. If you haven't checked him out, please check him out over at King Dolphin TV. He is an author and he has written a book called Dolphin Wars. So once I get some extra cash in my pocket, I plan on buying a book. And on top of that, he said, and this is very nice of him, he will also autograph it for me. So I will check out his book. And I suggest any of you guys out there in YouTube land that happen to be listening to this, go check his channel out and subscribe. So there's also that on early Saturdays. Then, of course, Friday evenings, I mean, you got Doomcock, which is Overlord DVD. Go check him out on top of that. And then usually on a Sunday, you know, he has his little panel get together. So you try to listen to that kind of stuff. And it's nice when you know that there are people out there that are kind of like-minded, which is great. Because you also know that you're not alone. And there are, you know, people like you out there that, you know, that do care about this kind of fun culture that we had growing up. Not that it should be the be-all and end-all of everything of your existence. Or, you know, that it should be all-encompassing because, you know, there's more to life than, say, TV and movies and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of, aside from maybe other literature that you might have read, you know, where you kind of really saw what being a hero was all about. You know, which for young blossoming minds like myself at the time, who grew up with Luke Skywalker or Indiana Jones or, I don't know, a movie like, say, Clash of the Titans or you know, any other kind of sci-fi movie out there, you know, to see heroic acts done. You might see that here and there, but I don't know. It's not the same. It's a lot of it's just been done. So what can you say? But anyway, the whole point was finding a slot to actually do a live stream like this. And believe it or not, I can't believe that I've been ranting for about 35 minutes and I'm still talking. And I suppose in a weird way, it's probably really the only chance I get to talk about anything, which is kind of nice. Because usually when I talk, a certain significant other just doesn't want me to rant on and on and on. So, and by nature, I'm a storyteller. So I tend to ramble on, but in a good way. Anyway, another guy, let's see. Who else do I listen to? There's so many people out there. There's like Brandon, the anime guy, who I can relate to, who goes through copious amounts of anime from like the 80s onwards, as far as I know, pretty much from the 80s onwards. So check him out as well. I corrupted the poor guy, I think, because over the weekend, I sent him every episode of the Japanese series of Transformers that I had. So, which would be Scramble City, as some of you nerds out there might know, is between season 2 and the movie of the original 80s Transformers. And then I told him skip season 4 and go into Headmasters, Super God Master Force, Victory, and Zone. And, well, he's in anime. I just gave him a lot to watch. So, if you are also into anime, please check him out as well. He's got 1,000 subscribers. I'm sure he wouldn't mind a few more here and there. And now I'm just wondering what else to talk about. Well, if you followed any of the other interviews that I've done on any other channels, if any of you happen to subscribe to them, I don't know. I am a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer for 20 years. I've done lots of stuff, from doing a prototype collectible card game for Hasbro. Can show you proof of that. Anything I say, I can pretty much back up, because I made it a habit to tell the truth. Or also on top of that, what I believe to be the truth. And if I make a mistake, I'll correct it. But yeah, did a prototype game for Hasbro, collectible card game when card games were all the rage. Aside from, like, say, Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Yeah, I did a collectible card game. Josh Izzo, who used to work at Hasbro, this is back in 2001, 2002. He was my contact. And I made a full deck with instructions and everything. And to make a long story short, I mailed it to him. I believe I also sent him the disc that all the material was on. And he took it to San Diego Comic-Con. You know what? And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have sent him a disc. Anyway, Wizards of the Coast looked at it at San Diego Comic-Con. This is like back in 2002, I believe, at this point. And they liked it. They really liked it. They tried the gameplay. They liked it, how it all worked, because apparently, I guess at the time, they were the authority of, card gameplay. Pretty sure. Something like that. Anyway, they ultimately went for a different idea where you had to punch out pieces of the card, make it into a robot, and make it into a car or a jet. And apparently that plan ultimately bombed. So Who knows? Maybe I might print out a prototype deck and God, maybe I'll sell it. But then again, they already did the card game like a few years ago, so lots of people probably already have that deck. I don't know. But yeah, I worked for lots of various clients, made lots of various websites and logos and brochures, and God, I even do video transfers of old media from 8mm projector film to Betamax and LPs and 8 tracks and VHS and VHS-C and 8mm cassettes. And oh boy. Right now I'm working on album covers for a rock band, which is kind of like Metallica, before they cut the hair, when they actually sounded good way back when. Plus, on top of that, also been working with a TV producer, Jay Beecham, who has produced shows, one of which I believe is on Netflix, Van Helsing. But not like the medieval Van Helsing that you guys are probably used to. This is on Netflix, yeah, under the same name, Van Helsing. Who apparently Van Helsing in this case, I guess, is a woman that can take down zombies, or apparently she has zombie super fighting skills of some sort. I've only watched the first episode, which is terrible because as he has been, a returning client, I probably should watch his work more. I don't know. I feel like I'm almost kind of lying because I have provided services for him. So, one being a show that he's trying to pitch, which is basically has its basis in Muppet puppetry, I suppose you could say. But yeah, he does this Van Helsing show, Lady Fighting Zombies. So I did the tail end, I suppose, tag at the end, where it shows what production people or what production houses were working on whatever shows. So done a couple of that for him. And yeah, like I mentioned, album covers for a rock band. I've done lots of things. So if you guys out there also need graphic design work done, I am your guy. I will try to give you the best deal that I can possible. What else can I tell you about myself? It's kind of hard to sell yourself, especially when not a lot of people are working or listening. But then again, like I said, this is the first show, so I don't know. Yeah, he works with the JDB Film Company. So, and he does productions like Van Helsing. I don't know what else he does, but he's also trying to get another show out called The Resporter, which is basically, yeah, like I said, a Muppet show of about an out-of-work sportscaster. And then the show is canceled. So what does he have to lose? Well, let's see. This apparently is it. The Resporter. I don't know if I'm supposed to leak this out yet, but he showed me. So, yeah. I will do what I must. But this is like some of the things. It was supposed to be like a green screen. And it was supposed to be in reverse because on camera it just flips over. So it needed to be like 80s kind of, how you're watching it on an old VCR and the image would flicker. Stuff like that. So, anywho, 45 minutes talking away. What I'm going to do, I am going to shut it down for now. And I will see you guys out there. And if you like what you're hearing, 7 likes. That's amazing. I don't know who else is listening, but thank you very much. Let's make this I don't know, a sporadic thing, or maybe I'll just do it on a particular day. Monday to me seems kind of odd because, you know, nobody likes to go to work on a Monday. But then again, why not start the week out with something good, something fun? So maybe I'll just make this the Comic Relief Crusader beginning of the week fun show. I haven't the faintest idea because right now, at this point, I'm just kind of winging it. So, but you know what? I'm going to call it quits now. For all of those listening right now, thank you for joining in. Thank you for. Oh, yes. Well, thank you, Snaggle Frickleputs. God, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Jimbo Jones, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but thank you for joining. And yes, and Mr. and Mrs. Feliciano, aka King Dolphin, thank you for showing up. Yes, and yes, and thank you. You have a meeting to go to, and yes, and I appreciate you guys, you and Sandra, supporting me in spirit. I very much appreciate that. Very, very much. But yeah, if you guys are listening in still, if any of you are listening in, or on top of that, if you guys are listening to it after the broadcast, please give a like, give a subscribe. And on top of that, yeah, let me know what day works for you. Maybe I'll do this on a Monday. Maybe I'll do it later on a Monday, just to start off the week with something goofy, something fun. Then again, maybe I'll do it on a weekend because, God, everybody wants to relax. Nobody wants to do anything. And most people on top of that want to shut off their brain. So I don't blame you. Anyway, this is the Comic Relief Crusader. I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.